idea of coming together is brought together by the glue of the Constitution. We can come together. And if we have disagreements, we should discuss them. And we should, in a very deliberate, calm fashion, change our Constitution. But when we embark on the notion that the government is supposed to be doing so much, and the government has so much power to wield, and that they ignore the Constitution, then we have nothing but a near anarchy in the sense of how they rush to Washington to consume our wealth. And this is what has to change. And we should be able to get the large majority of the people to support the Constitution. And the young people I meet are excited about this. I'll ask them, I get a lot of people now to my office in Washington, and many of them are teenagers and college kids, and they come in and I say, why is your interest? And I ask them all these questions. They say, well, I saw you on the debate. I said, what was it? They said, well, we'd like you to talk about the Constitution. And these are young people. But I think all of us like guidance. We like to know what the rules are. And if we don't like the rules, we should have a way to change them. And that is what we call the rule of law. So we have two issues going. We have our liberties and we have our the individual items, but we have to find out the best vehicle to bring about these changes. And the Constitution is by far, the best, but it's still very imperfect. But man is imperfect, but the vehicle is there for us to change it when we need to. But the other vehicle that they gave us, the founders gave us, is that we don't become dependent on a centralized government. The government should be our government over our lives and over our families and our friends in our neighborhood, but the rest of the government should be very, very local. And under those conditions, we can sort out a lot of these problems. One time in the debate, they asked something about stem cell research. Once again, it's up there. You get two choices. You either prohibit it or you subsidize it. Why don't we let people and local government make these difficult decisions rather than some bureaucrat and politician in Washington? What about energy? People ask me, what's my energy plan? Well, I think the market should decide the energy plan. Do you know about prices? How do prices work? But then they come up and they say, well, they might not develop an alternative source. Well, how do you know? They develop a lot of other things in the marketplace. But governments don't have to have an education plan, a medical plan, an energy plan. They should have a plan for the government to get out of our lives and leave us alone so that we can solve our problems. That's what we need. We have a lot of problems, and I've talked a lot about the problems. We have the tax problem, the spending problem, the size of the government, our civil liberties, our foreign policy doesn't work. True to my word, I'm an optimist. I believe that we can do a lot. I believe more is happening in this campaign than I ever dreamed. It's still early. Maybe a lot more may even come about in the near future. We have quite a few months to go. But the one thing that I'm firmly convinced of, I know my limitations, but I also know the unlimited benefits from freedom. And that's what we need. We need more freedom, not less freedom, which means we need less government and more individuals in Washington from the president on down that will obey their oath of office and design all their activities for the preservation of liberty. I thank you very much for joining me in this effort.